fact that YouTube is the second most visited site on the internet should tell us all a little bit about the value of video. So putting a video on your landing page can increase conversion rates by 80%. Putting or even mentioning the word video in an email subject line can increase your open rates by 19%. And 90% of customers say that videos help them make purchasing decisions. So businesses have taken note of this, and more are incorporating video into their business strategy, and you should be too, and that's what we're going to talk about this week on Lulu University. Now that we know how important video is, as an author, what will you video about? So I'm going to give you just a couple ideas of the things that you can use to make video content, but please feel free to get creative and think outside the box. A few things that you can kind of think about to get you started would be how-to videos. So those are really great. That can be how you move about your writing process, how you use different softwares to create your books, how you even come up with your ideas for your books. So all of that can make great how-to content. Another good idea is excerpts. So doing a dramatic reading maybe from one of your books can be really great to kind of engage your readers and let them know what your book is about. Also FAQs. So any questions that you're getting often from readers or any questions that you are asking yourself that you would like to kind of answer for your audience, that can also make really good video content. Any special offers or announcements that you have on your website can be really good for short videos as well. But again, like I said, don't be afraid to deviate from this list. So maybe you have a great little garden in your backyard and you want to take your readers on a little journey back there. Or maybe you just made the best cup of tea in the world and you want to talk about that. So adding in these little different or maybe a little bit quirky videos can really help your readers connect with you personally and kind of add that other element of engagement to your content. Now that we know that video is important and we know exactly what you're going to video about, let's go ahead and start planning. So when you're in the beginning stages of planning for your video strategy or your video content, it's really important to outline your goal and your audience. These things are key and they're going to help you make the rest of the decisions along the way. So once you have your goal and your audience defined, the next thing you're going to want to think about is where will this video live? So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, most social media platforms do have the capacity for video hosting or live video. So you're going to want to consider that in the beginning phases so you can have those requirements for each platform in mind as you plan. Up next is your budget. So you're going to want to decide a budget and a realistic timeline for you to complete the video as well. Once you have all those details squared away, then you can start writing the script. So writing the script can be completely up to you, the process that you use. You could do a rough outline or write out each word or each line. It really depends on the content of the video and what you're going to be trying to relay in the message. At the very least, be sure to create an outline so you'll know exactly which points you want to hit, and it'll keep you from rambling about the things that you did last week or what you're going to do tomorrow. And then your mom called you, you got to call her back, but your cat's outside, so you better go get it, and let's talk about that later. A little pro tip for you with your script writing will be try to grab your viewer's attention within the first 15 seconds of the video, or even faster if you can. Attention spans are like goldfish and whatnot, so get them quick. All right, let's talk about equipment. So the great news is that little device you've been using to take all those dope selfies can probably also take dope video. So if you have an iPhone, iPhones these days can take really excellent video. So that's a great starting point for your video content making journey. So a couple pro tips about using your iPhone for video are, number one, always make sure that the camera is horizontal when you're filming. So that's huge. Up next is going to be buy a tripod. So you can look online and there are a ton of really affordable tripod options out there, but as always, do your research. And last but not least is don't rely too heavily on the zoom feature of your phone. So if you do need to get closer to your subject or whatever it is you're filming, actually move the phone closer to the image or to the subject rather than zooming in, because that can result in a very pixelated image. If you have a budget, getting a DSLR camera can be a great step up. Keep in mind, there's definitely a learning curve here, as well as a spending curve. But if you have the time and budget to really invest and learn about the camera, it can be a huge value add to your videos. For beginners, lighting is one of the most important but often overlooked pieces of creating quality video. See what I mean? Let's talk about what you need to have awesome lighting. The key light. 45 degrees to the left or the right of the subject, pointing downwards. Key light is the brightest light and should be able to stand alone if necessary. Fill light. This is 45 degrees to the opposite side of where you put your key light. So the fill light is a little bit softer and fills in the shadows created by the key light. Backlight. This is placed 45 degrees opposite of the fill light and helps to separate the subject from the background and create a nice rim of light around them. The good news is good lighting can be achieved affordably. Just grab some clamp lights, bulbs, and extension cords from a hardware store, and you can go to Amazon for some light stands. If lights just aren't in your budget, then at least position yourself near an open window or some natural lighting to serve as the key light for your video. Up next is audio. Audio is another huge factor in creating a high quality video. So even if you took all of our notes about lighting and you made the most fantastic video ever, if your audience can't hear you well or can't understand what you're saying, then they're gonna leave pretty quickly. So first off, choose a quiet room to film in. No matter how expensive or wonderful your audio equipment is, you're not gonna be able to drown out loud noises or background sounds unless you're really, really, really good at editing. For the best result, record your audio separately using a Zoom recorder and either a lavalier or a shotgun microphone. This is especially important if you are using a DSLR camera because the built-in audio there is not for recording high quality audio. And then you're gonna wanna record it separately and then you can sync the video and the audio later. If you're shooting on your iPhone, buy a microphone that plugs directly into your phone. There are a lot of really affordable options here, and this can be a great way to get started if you're not ready to commit to buying more equipment. Up next, we've got some composition tips for you. So one thing to keep in mind as you're creating your videos are the rule of thirds. So imagine 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines across the screen. Key elements should occur here. For example, the subject's eyes should align with the top horizontal line. In an interview format, the subject will be placed closer to one of the vertical lines and facing the opposite direction. Last one, we're talking about headroom. So if you position your subject correctly based on the rule of thirds, you're gonna wanna be aware of the space between their head and the edge of the frame. So you just wanna make sure there's not too much space and there's not too little space. All right, let's talk about how to edit this all together. So if you're just starting out, iMovie for Macs or Windows Movie Maker for PCs are a great place to start. These are free and user-friendly and a really nice introduction to editing. If you're ready to step it up, we recommend using Adobe Premiere Pro. This is used by both amateurs and professionals. It's easy enough to learn and powerful enough to edit major Hollywood movies. A year of Adobe Premiere Pro is going to be $240. Now you know how to make videos, but how do you market them? So obviously at this point you've made some excellent videos, so it makes sense to go ahead and make an excellent YouTube channel, especially since YouTube is the second most visited website on the internet. There can be a lot to learn on YouTube, but fear not. We may or may not have an entire episode on how to use it coming up soon. Facebook is also a great platform for your videos. Facebook loves videos, so give them what they want. So be sure that whatever videos you put on Facebook can capture your audience immediately. Facebook automatically starts playing videos, so you have to be able to draw in the audience right away, or they'll just keep scrolling to the next cat video. Last tip for Facebook is to get on Facebook Live. Live videos get watched 3 times longer than non-live videos and can be a great resource for you. But if you're unsure how to use Facebook as an author, then check out our previous video on Facebook for Authors on Lulu University. Instagram and Instagram Stories can also be a great way for you to share your videos. Keep in mind these are automatically muted, so you're going to want to add captioning or tell your viewers right up front to unmute the video when they press play. If you have any questions about the gram, check out our Instagram for Authors video. That's a lot of information, but don't be intimidated. With a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience, you will be creating high-quality, unique videos for your brand and your books. If you have any comments or questions, or if there's anything that we missed, leave them below, hit like, hit subscribe. We'll see you next time.